What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with another prediction video. This time we are doing predictions for UFC Fight Night Vancouver, and we have some good matchups on this card. Now, Rainer de Ridder and Brendan Allen are the main event. It was supposed to be Anthony Hernandez versus Rainer de Ridder. Unfortunately, Anthony Hernandez got hurt. Nevertheless, we did pretty well last week, only missing 3 fights, and we're going to do our best to keep that momentum of having some good picks. So let's start off with this women's bantamweight bout. Melissa Croden versus Tainara Lisbosa. Croden is making her UFC debut, and I do think that Lisbosa is going to be able to edge out the UFC website just crashed on me, so you're not going to get what you want every time, you know what I mean? So we're gonna make an adjustment here since the UFC website wants to be freaking weird. Let's just keep it rolling. All right, so Tainara Lisbosa, the Panther, versus Melissa Croden. Lisbosa did get subbed in her last fight. She lost in the second round via Americana. That 4 months freaking flew by. Oh my goodness. I literally felt like it was like not too long ago where she fought. I'm gonna go Lisbosa. You can see right here, I have my pick. I have all my picks ready to go. I have Lisbosa getting the dub here via decision. Croden is making her debut. She is a slight underdog, but I do think Lisbosa is gonna end up getting the dub. This one is going to be a good one with Asma Bekaev. Yeah, Asma Bekaev versus Yusri Belagrui. I have Bekaev getting the knockout here. Yusri is 6'5" though, with a 5-inch height advantage, and he trains with Mr. Alex Pereira himself. So be wary. He probably does have knockout power. The wins have been coming through KO. Only one decision right here a year and a half ago. I think Bekaev could get a nasty TKO here if he utilizes his ground game. I'm not going to think about it too much. He is the favorite. I do think that he's going to rely on his grappling. We shall see. I'm going to go Bekaev for our next fight here. Next match on the card, we have Stephanie Luciano versus Ravana Oliveira. Both these women are coming off of losses. Luciano is ranked 32nd in the strawweight division. She has a little bit of an age advantage as well, only 3 years. I'm going to go Luciano via decision here. A lot of Luciano wins are coming through decision, and I also think that is going to be something that, potentially could happen during this fight. Just playing it safe, going through the 3 rounds, as long as she doesn't get knocked out. Oliveira, she's had 3 KOs in her last 5 fights, so she is dangerous. I wouldn't count her out, but I'm going to go Luciano via decision on this fight. Moving up the card, this one's going to be fun. I think this one with Kyle Prepolek and Drew Dober. Drew Dober is having a tough time, as we could see here by the record here, getting some wins on the board. But don't you forget, Drew Dober is an OG in this game. Prepolek kill shot, also coming off a loss. So if we look at Drew Dober's losses, he's been knocked out 3 out of the last 5, or 3 out of the last 4 losses in his career. So we have to think about his chin, his health. I do think that Drew Dober kind of knows that if he doesn't get this one, it's going to be very sad if it doesn't end up going his way. So I'm going to go Drew Dober. Now into the prelims. We have Danny Barlow versus DeJordan Santos. Okay, I got Santos on here via decision or via submission. I was going to go TKO or KO, but I do think we need a few submissions on this card. This is my first underdog pick. Okay, I have seen Santos fight. He's a strong guy. He could take the fight to the ground. Mr. Barlow, left hand to God is his nickname, is the favorite, but I am going Mr. Santos here, just bullying him. I do think Santos is not going to let it be too easy for Mr. Barlow, but we shall see. I'm going to go Santos submission. Next fight on the card, we have Bruno Silva versus King Sung Park, and I got Park, man. Silva is a tricky fighter. These flyweights, man, they move different. They're very fast. They're twitchy. They're like wiry. I'm gonna go Park here. I'm a fan of Park. Also, the favorite here. Silva has lost his last 2 fights, but they have been let's see. He got knocked out against Joshua Van Amy. So Silva's been going against some high level competition. Okay, so he knows how it is going against the best of the best in his division. I think Park is gonna be able to sneak a submission in here, maybe around 2 or 3. That's my pick. Silva's a tough guy, so I'm sure this one's going to be an entertaining fight, but I'm going to go Park for this fight here. Okay, next fight on the card, we have Charles Jourdain versus Davy Grant. Listen, here's my theory behind this pick here. Now, Davy Grant, he's 39 years old. Why am I picking someone who's 10 years older? I just think Davy Grant is durable, bro. He somehow ends up finding out a way to win and I'm not going to bet against him. I feel like Charles Jourdain is good. I've been seeing more of his clips on Instagram and stuff. He's a funny dude, but I do think Davy Grant is going to sneak a decision. I do think it's going to be a lot closer than everybody thinks, and it might go Davy Grant's way. So I don't really feel too confident going with Charles Jourdain here. So I'm going Mr. Davy Grant. This might be one of his last fights. Who knows? But he has been getting dubs as of late, and I think he's going to continue to do so. Not in dominant fashion, but he's going to sneak one by. All right, let's go up the card. Kyle Nelson versus Matt Frivola. Now, to be honest with you guys, I don't know who's going to win this fight. This one is hit or miss. Both these guys have been knocked out as of late. Frivola has been knocked out twice back to back. So it's a tough one. I think Frivola is going to get the dub. Do I have a lot of evidence on why that's going to happen? No. It's one of those where it's just like, and I feel like Frivola needs it more. I feel like Kyle Nelson, I've watched I've watched one fight of his, and he does leave himself out there. Not the quickest guy, so I'm really interested to see how this one goes. This one's like a toss-em, bro. Like, if anybody's saying like they know what's gonna happen here, let me know what's gonna happen, because I don't know what's gonna happen in this fight. This is Frivola versus Nelson, going Frivola here. Now, I am very interested to see this one. Cody Gibson versus can you guys help me out with the name here? I don't know. The Mongolian Murderer, okay? Say you sign me up for the UFC, right? You sign me the contract, and it's like, all right, you're going against the Mongolian Murderer. I would second guess myself. I'm like, am I going down the right career path? You know what I mean? He has been losing as of late, with one win in his last 4 fights. But I'm going to go with the Mr. Mongolian Murderer here. Cody Gibson is the favorite. I'm going to fade it. Go with the Mongolian Murderer. I really like his name. Plus, I feel like he can get the win here. I'm going with a TKO in the second or third round here. Moving up the card, we have Manon Fiorot versus Jasmine Jusavicius. All right. I'm going to go Fiorot here. I know her last fight against Shevchenko went to decision. It was a lot closer than people thought it was going to be. Jasmine has been on a tear, though. Darce submission, decision, another Darce, decision, rear naked choke. So definitely has a lot of submission threats. I do remember the rear naked choke finish she had not too long ago. But both these women are similar in age. And this one's going to be a high-level fight for the division. I feel like this one is going to be entertaining, especially if it goes on the ground, especially with Jasmine's submission threat. I just think Fiorot's going to be able to do enough on the feet to get the win. I'm going to go TKO in the third round. Let's go. Now, the people's main event is right here, man. Chito Vera versus Ayman Zahabi. Let's think about this one, ladies and gentlemen. This is really what we're here for, is this fight right here. If you guys didn't check out Ayman Zahabi's last fight, it was probably one of the craziest fights you will ever see against Jose Aldo. In the third round, Zahabi gets soccer kicked in the face. He's falling on the cage. He comes back. Aldo's like gassed out. Zahabi gets his own punches in, and then ends up like elbowing Aldo in close guard for the last minute and a half, securing the win in the very end. That was a crazy fight. Chito Vera has been struggling as of late. Lost to Sugar Sean O'Malley, lost to Figueiredo. He's been trying to climb back. The one thing that I noticed is he has not lost 3 in a row. So if he does, man, it's not looking good for the boy, okay? I'm surprised that Zahabi here is the favorite. But Chito Vera, he has mentioned recently that he has been burnt out when it comes to training MMA. Says he runs 13 miles every Sunday, and he stopped running 13 miles and focused more on sprints. Is that going to be the contributing factor in this fight? We shall see. As you can see here, my pick is Zahabi. I do think that Zahabi is not the most athletically gifted. I do think his mindset and work ethic is going to get him this fight. Both these guys could go 5 rounds, I believe. I believe these guys could fight a 5-round fight. I feel like Zahabi is going to have to game plan really well against Chito Vera. Chito Vera is known to start off really slow in the first round. So that first round is really going to dictate the pace. Of course it is, right? The first round is going to dictate the pace of the fight. But really, Chito Vera is like really known to struggle in the first round to pick up the pace. So we'll see what Chito's game plan is. But I'm going Zahabi via master plan with his brother Faraz Zahabi. I do think that they're going to game plan really well against Chito Vera. Zahabi's he's working his way up, man. Look at those wins, 5 out of 5, very impressive. So he's working up that resume, and I really wish Zahabi kept that mullet because that thing looks kind of fresh. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I'm going Zahabi here for the this main card fight, 3 rounds. All right, next fight up, Kevin Holland versus Mike Maylot. Now, I have Kevin Holland by submission here. I don't know what's going on with Kevin Holland's mindset. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't even know who he's fighting. Like, I don't understand the whole, I don't know if it's just for show or, I honestly don't know. He has been doing pretty well until his last fight when he lost to Daniel Rodriguez. That was a dog fight. I'm going to say that was a very entertaining fight. A lot of people did not expect Holland to lose, but I do think he bounces back against Mike Maylot here. Both these guys are submission hunters, so I do think that they're not going to be afraid to take the fight to the ground and start, throwing down with their own submissions. And I do think Kevin Holland's going to be able to pull it through with a second round submission. So Kevin Holland's the underdog as well. So, this one's going to be entertaining. I wish the Chito Vera and Zahabi was a co-main, though. Not going to lie. Now, for the main event, Reinier de Ridder versus Brendan Allen. Now, this was originally supposed to be Reinier de Ridder versus Anthony Hernandez, which would have been a banger of a fight. Anthony Hernandez has beat Brendan Allen twice, but he is coming off a win, decision win. I do think Reinier de Ridder is going to smoke Brendan Allen. Second or third round submission. I do think this is going to be a cakewalk for de Ridder. He has been on a tear recently. I feel like they should have put a little bit more time looking for a better opponent for Reinier de Ridder. Maybe DDP would be up there for the challenge, but de Ridder is going to be up there with title contention pretty soon. The Anthony Hernandez fight would have been a perfect fight, but I do think Reinier, or RDR, we should say, is going to get a win in the second or third round via submission. Those are my takes. Those are my picks. I hope we do well. Let me know you guys' takes and predictions down below, and I'll catch you guys next fight card. Let's get after it.